Greetings, what's up? It's Deborah, and today I want to just really briefly, I was trying to do it when there was daylight, I missed it, but I want to really briefly talk about diversity, inclusion, um, differentiation instead of competition, and true equilibrium instead of work-life balance. But I want to give us a really simple frame within which to think about these things. And so, what I'd like for you to do, if you have not done so already, and if you connected with me this year, I might sound like a broken record because you probably already heard me say this. Go get No Bad Parts by Richard C. Schwartz. It is an incredible book. I believe it is the paradigm shift that humanity needs. And it's available on Amazon and Audible, on libraries around the world, I'm sure. So go find the book and read it. Specifically, just read chapter one. You don't have to read the whole book, but just chapter one will be really helpful for us in our discussion. Why? Well, think about holistic. When you think holistically, you think holistically means to think big picture, but also to understand the patterns between the micro and the macro. And so what what I believe is that the patterns that we see in the cosmos and in our galaxies and in our solar systems are the same that we see in our atoms and in our cells. So instead of making things super complex and difficult when we try to think out there in the world out there with other people that we can't control, we always come back to the simplest and smallest mechanism that we do have the most control or influence over, and that's within us. And so a lot of what I do, a lot of what I talk about is the inside out approach. It's one of the tenets of Global Village. And so, what we're going to do is use the concepts and the ideas in No Bad Parts to see how we can start to create more inclusion, differentiation, and equilibrium within our own systems. Now, we just to be clear, we already do this, right? We already know this. We know that our body needs to be in homeostasis or we die, right? If our temperature goes in Fahrenheit, if our temperature goes much over 99 degrees, we're in trouble. It means that our healthy cells are dying and our body is too hot. If our temperature goes below, I don't know, 96 degrees, we're also in trouble, right? So there's a very, very narrow range in which the system is in homeostasis and it's operating correctly. We call those feedback controls. We can also look at things like the pH of our blood, right? It has to be a certain pH. I forget what the number is now, but if it's a little higher, a little lower, that's death for us. So many things like that, right? Our different mechanisms in our body are basically there to check to make sure that things are in the range that they need to be in equilibrium. So we understand that. We understand the ways that we're truly differentiated. We have fingerprints that are unique to us, that no other human has the exact same fingerprint as we do, right? We understand that diversity and inclusion, it comes from safety. And we understand at some innate level that judgment cannot be a part of ever of a place where there's true diversity and inclusion, right? So these are some basic common ideas that we already know. But now we're going to build on that. We're going to see how we can use that in a practical way. And more importantly, we're going to understand why it's so important to move away from our business as usual paradigm that we've all kind of inherited. I don't believe we created it. I don't point fingers at anybody. I think we just inherited this system, but it doesn't work for humans. It's got lots of flaws and lots of problems in it. And I'm not knocking because it was probably better than what was before, but it's time to upgrade. It's time to update. It's time to up level our programming, okay, so that we can operate in a way that's more aligned with how the human body and human nature actually is. And so we can actually use more of our potential instead of squashing down, which is what we do now systematically, we squash down the potential of each individual human and try to homogenize instead of allowing people to truly differentiate, which is what we are here to do. So we know the saying, you're born unique, you die a copy. Really, it should be that you're born unique and you die like incredibly differentiated, where you're so different from everyone else. Your differentiation should be increasing as you grow, not decreasing. So this is something that is really, really important for leadership, for people to understand. And it's actually quite simple. Like I said, there are tons of examples in nature. We're not going to make it complicated, but we're definitely going to take the approach of that No Bad Parts takes, to really looking at our system without judgment, and to really start to understand how we can create true safety and trust in any system, be it within yourself or in a large organization, or maybe even a country, right? So hopefully this is exciting to you as it is to me. Let me know in the comments if you have the book, if you've read chapter 1, if you're getting the book, if you're excited. I am super pumped, and I really want to hear from you what your number one thing is that you want to learn from this series. Like, what is it that you really want to see shared, or delved into? Is it about how you can make more of an impact with less resources? Is it about like how you can be more true to yourself even when dealing with other people's expectations of you? What is it for you? I'd love to read that in the comments, and also let me know if you have or are going to get the book. All right, much love. Bye.